Hey guys, this is Candle and welcome to a new collection update, new gaming pickups video. Got a decent stack here. Although I haven't really played most of them, I'll be honest, at least not these versions. So let's just get into it. So back in January, I got sick. Okay, I got sick in January, I got sick in February, but in between there, I was feeling better, and I went out and I got a number of things. First up, I got Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment for the Switch 2. Really, I just finished playing through this. I really enjoyed it. I played the original Hyrule Warriors back on the Wii U. Really enjoyed that. I played Tears of the Kingdom. Really enjoyed that. And this is kind of the best of both worlds because this is a canon prequel to Tears of the Kingdom. So it kind of explains, what happened, how Ganon ended up, being that shriveled husk deep underneath the castle and stuff like that, and what happens to Zelda when she gets disappeared and stuff like that. So really a lot of fun, big, huge hack and slash. One of these days I have to play Age of Calamity, which was kind of a prequel to Breath of the Wild, although I don't think that one is canon, whereas this one is. So I definitely need to play that at some point, get that. But definitely glad to have this in my collection now. Another Switch 2 game I got is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So this will play on the original Switch and the Switch 2 with the free upgrade and stuff like that. So definitely glad to have this as well. Although this is still sealed. I haven't opened this because I haven't started it yet, mostly because I haven't really played the Metroid Prime games, really. I've played Metroid Prime 1 a few times, never properly beat it. I did end up watching a Let's Play at some point, but I never properly beat it myself. And I would like to play through Metroid Prime 1 through 3 before I play through 4. Although I am curious about this and trying out the mouse controls, although I don't know how well that's going to work for me because the Switch 2 Joy-Con, the right Joy-Con, doesn't feel that good in the hand and in the mouse configuration, but I'm still interested in trying this at some point. Definitely glad to have this in my collection, though. I do at some point need to get a physical copy of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes for the GameCube. I have the Wii version, and I think at some point, if it's not already there, it will show up on the GameCube app on the Switch 2, but it's not there yet, I don't think. Either way, I need to play through Metroid Prime 1 through 3 before I play Beyond. So definitely glad to have that. And I do have one more Switch 2 game, and I did the thing I said I was never going to do. I bought a game key card. You always knew there was probably going to be one of these that would get you, and for me, that was Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Now, I understand why they did this as a game key card, because currently there are two options for Switch 2 cartridges. It's either a game key card or a 64 gigabyte cartridge, and this game on the Switch 2 is like 100 gigabytes. So it was never going to fit on a single key card or a single cartridge, and it probably would have been too expensive to ship it on two. So the other option is, put it on 64 gigabyte and then have you download the rest, or just put it on a much cheaper game key card and just have you download the whole thing. So I am glad to have this in my collection. I have not opened this. This is still sealed, and it will probably remain sealed because I've already played through this game a couple times. I even got the platinum for it on both the PS4 and the PS5. So I don't really have a reason to play the Switch 2 version unless I really want to play it out and about or in handheld mode and stuff like that. And I don't really play Switch 2 in handheld mode. So this will probably stay sealed, which means that this came with a booster pack of the Final Fantasy, the Magic the Gathering, the Final Fantasy themed Magic cards. So that will probably just forever be in here. I could have the rarest card in existence here. You would never know. So that's just going to stay here, stay sealed probably. I'll probably never open this and stuff like that. So, yeah. Keeping the Final Fantasy train rolling, I also picked up Final Fantasy Tactics on the Switch. I did get the PS5 version when that came out. I wanted to get this as well, but I kind of held off a bit. Finally went ahead and just picked it up so I can, kind of round out my collection and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I also picked up the 7 and 8 dual pack and the 9. And you might think, oh, Candle, don't you already have those? Yes, technically I do. Right here. I have the exact same thing, except these are the international versions. This is the PAL territory version. You can tell by the PEGI rating. And then this is the Asia version. Which it's still in English, but it was made for the Asian market, and you can tell that it's not North American because again, no ESRB. Whereas these have the ESRB ratings on them. So now that we finally have, because these came out like 3-4 years ago, these just came out in the last few months, towards the end of last year in North America. We finally have physical versions for these in North America, because previously these were only available in North America on the eShop. You had to import them. Now, thankfully, the Switch is region free. That's why I ended up getting these instead. But now I can trade these, sell these off or get them or whatever to have extra Switch cases, because these are what I have now. And I do prefer to have North American copies where possible. I don't mind imports if it's something that never got a physical release here. That's why I imported these in the first place. And I have like the Japanese version of Final Fantasy III on the PSP because that was digital only here. I have the PAL territory version of Ratchet and Clank Future Quest for Booty because that was digital only here. So I don't mind having imports, but when there is a North American release, I do prefer to get those to round out my collection and everything. So beyond that, I do have a couple more games. This is going to be a fairly short video, I imagine. So I have the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Finally picked up a copy of this, and definitely glad to have this, add this to my collection. I'm looking forward to playing it soon. I've heard good things about it. I've also heard that it is very streamlined and cut down from the original. Like, the original is very long and overly bloated, a lot of people say. I do have the original. I just haven't played it yet. I'm probably going to wait until I can get grab the 3DS version of that before playing the original. But I am looking forward to playing this. I'll probably play this first. So definitely glad to add this to my collection. Glad to have this and so on. But yeah, this is sealed because this just came in the other day. I haven't had a chance to open this up yet. The next game, however, is sealed probably because it's currently available on PlayStation Network on PS Plus. And so I have it downloaded on my PS5, but I have not actually played it yet. And that is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I was not able to get this when it first came out. I passed up on it because I was paying off a massive repair and stuff like that. So I passed on it when it came out, but I did enjoy the first one. I did enjoy Miles Morales. So I'm looking forward to finally playing this as soon as I get a chance. However, and you may notice in the background here, I have the box for the PS5 disc drive. I also have the box for the PS5 vertical stand. What you don't see, because it's currently on the bookshelves, on top of the bookshelves in my bedroom, is a box for a PS5 Pro. Yes, I went and upgraded to a PS5 Pro. I did not think I was going to. I'm a little sad I missed out on getting it before the price increase last fall, and I missed out on getting it when there was when it was on sale for like Black Friday and stuff, mostly because I had to buy a new TV at that point. But I did get a PS5 Pro. I'm really enjoying it. It's basically just the PS5 but better. I'm a little annoyed that I had to buy a disc drive separately in order to play my disc-based games. And I just got this just to round the thing out. You don't really need this if you're having it stand up vertically, especially with a disc drive attached. It's pretty sturdy, but it's still nice to have, especially since the launch PS5 that I was replacing and went back into storage came with a vertical stand. Unfortunately, now it's sold separately. But the reason why I upgraded to a PS5 Pro was for Resident Evil 9, because I learned prior to this game coming out that the PS5 Pro version of this runs at a stable 60 FPS with full ray tracing, or you can disable ray tracing and bump it up to 120 FPS. I did end up playing through in the 60 FPS ray tracing mode, and I really love this game. I really do. This is now my favorite Resident Evil game, honestly. And it's the perfect blend of the over the shoulder, more actiony Resident Evil stuff, but also the first person horror elements from like 7 and 8, and the classic survival horror atmosphere from like the really classic games and stuff. So it is like the perfect blend of like everything, and I really, really enjoyed this game. I think it's very well paced. Some people are saying it drops off a little bit in the second half when you're in Leon's main section, but I didn't think that. Yeah, it's more actiony, it's less scary during that segment, but I mean, Leon's old hat at this. during the more scary sections, that's when you're playing as the new character Grace, and she is, that's her oeuvre and stuff like that. So this came with a poster too. I haven't even actually fully unfolded this to take a look at it. So it came with a brief poster showing. There we go. There's the new main character Grace there as well, and then on the flip side, it's the burnt out RPD headquarters, RPD station. And so that was something I really also loved, was going back to Raccoon City. I didn't grow up with the original games. I grew up with the movies. That's how I got into this franchise, was through the movies. And then I played the RE1 remake on the GameCube a couple times. I played a couple other, like RE4 on the PS2. Never really got into it that much until RE7. That was what fully brought me into the games in the franchise. And I've played like all of the remakes since then. I've seen Let's Plays of the Revelations games and so on. And I'm really looking forward to further remakes, further new games down the road. So I really think Capcom knocked it out of the park with this one. I am very much glad to have that in my collection. Anyways, that is pretty much it for now. You may notice it was all new releases or relatively new releases. That is because last year I had this whole thing of trying to get up to 1,300 games. I thought about trying to jump up to 1,500 this year, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point. You saw I only have like not even 10 games here for all of like January, February, and into the first couple weeks of March. So I don't think getting from 1,300 to 1,500 is really going to be achievable this year. I could probably do it, but I need to start thinking about cutting back on my spending a little bit and saving up. And so this year I'm kind of trying to go more for quality over quantity. So you will see more retro games in the future on here during these videos, but they're probably going to be more rare, more expensive games. So we'll see what happens and stuff like that. But I'm not stopping collecting games or anything like that. I'm definitely going to be picking up new releases. I definitely want to get more retro games, fill up my retro collections a bit. Though as you can see from the wall behind me, I am starting to run out of room. And so I need to look into getting another media tower, probably to go on this wall where the Resident Evil Extinction poster is right now. You can't really see it that well. It's kind of almost cut off, but it's right there. Otherwise, I have to like rearrange my living room and maybe put like UV film on, anti-UV film on the front window and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Biggest problem is I can't find the Atlantic Oscar 1080s, which are the media towers I have now. I can't find any more of those anywhere for sale anywhere. I don't know if they stopped making them or if they just stopped shipping them to the U.S. because of tariffs and the end of the de minimis loophole and stuff like that. But I can't find them. And yeah, I can find a whole bunch of stuff that's very similar, but nothing that's actually that size. Like the nearest ones I've found are not quite as tall. They're about as wide, but they only go up to like right here. So that's not terrible. It would give me a lot more space, but I would prefer having more units like this. And then, of course, eventually when I get more big box PC games, those can just go on standard bookshelves. The reason why I love these so much is not only because they're so tall, but they're shallow. They're the perfect depth for like media, for like CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, games, what have you. Perfect depth for that. And also, all the shelves are like fully movable, except for like there's a fixed shelf halfway through for stability. But otherwise, they're fully movable, so you can set them up pretty much however you want. That's part of why I love them. So anyways, that is it for this collection update. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.